going on, guys? Snag here, and it's time to wrap up round 13 of the 2024 NRL season, guys. Now look, guys, in this video I'm going to mail it in a little bit, just like the Roosters did against the Cowboys, guys. We've all got State of Origin on our minds, and that's all I want to talk about right now. But I thought I'd still do the video because in the past I've gone to do, like, I've gone, no one will care about, so-and-so video, something better's on, and then people sort of like, why didn't you do this video? So I was like, all right, I'll do it. I'll just mail it in, lads. But no, we'll still go through it, go over everything that sort of went down over the weekend sort of thing. But yeah, State of Origin, baby. Edwards in. So Edwards out, Teddy in. It's going to be crazy, man. I absolutely cannot wait. I'm going to be recording my State of Origin video straight after this one, guys. Going to be going over all our punts for it, predictions, everything, and I really can't wait. It's going to be so awesome. I absolutely cannot wait for Origin. Also, guys, I just did my first test stream on Kick, so if you guys do want to follow me on Kick, guys, I'll actually be live streaming the State of Origin. So if you're in New Zealand or some people can't get to a screen, I will be streaming it on Kick, guys. So I'll try not to talk over the top of it too much, but we'll write all our bets on there, guys. So that's sort of what I'm planning to do with Kick, is sort of like use it for all the bros. We all punt together. You guys can jump in the chat. We can watch the game together, talk about our punts, all that sort of stuff. And yeah, it should be good, guys. So yeah, shoot us sub on Kick. And yeah, cannot wait. Let's go. All right, guys, so Parramatta get it done against the Sharkies. It was a round of upsets. Doggies get it done 32-0 against the Knights. Dragons upset the Panthers. That was an upset, wasn't it? Was that an upset as well? Raiders get it done, and Cowboys get it done. Round of upsets. I said this was going to happen one time. It was only 5 games, but still pretty goddamn solid. All right, so let's move on to the ladder. Let's see how it's looking. Storm up on top. Sharkies knocked off their perch. Panthers come down as well. Dolphins hold steady in 4th. Broncos with the bye up to 5th. We have the Raiders sitting there, up in there in 6th. Seagulls up in 6th as well. Roosters drop down to 8th. Wow, that's crazy. That would have been well and truly in top 4 if they won that, right? So 14 and 16. Yeah, but their for and against is so good. So yeah, they would have been up into 4th, but they sit there. Doggies up into 9th. Knights into 10th. Dragons move up into 11th. Warriors move up into 12th. And Cowboys drop. How did Cowboys drop? Oh, maybe this hasn't reloaded yet since they got their 2 points. The for and against, maybe? All right, whatever. I don't know how they've dropped. But anyway, yeah, Titans, Eels, West Tigers and Rabbitohs still sitting down 14th to 17th. But great win for the Parramatta Eels. How good. What a win. Man, it was funny after this game because I did a video on TikTok and, I just, I recorded it well before. When was this? Thursday? And, I was pretty confident that Moses and Gutho weren't going to play. Like, I'd heard that they hadn't. The coach came out and said, I'm naming them, but I'm not sure if they're playing, and this, that, and the other. And I was actually pretty confident at least one of them wouldn't play, but they both did. And Jesus Christ, from the first set, I was like, what a difference these two make, man. What a difference these two make. Like, anyone that thinks Clinton Moses sucked, seriously, the guy just... What a difference those two made to that team. And Moses is just incredible. Like that, the first set, like Clint, their first set they go bang, bang, bang. Clint takes the 4th into the 5th tackle. Bang, gets between 2 defenders, puts it, gets to his front, quick play the ball. And then Moses just goes boom, just kicks the ball and just literally drops it a meter out from the try line. It was perfect. I just saw that and I was like, Jesus Christ. I cannot believe people think Mitchell Moses isn't a good half. Like, he is incredible, man. And I personally think the Blues need that. Like, I'll get to it in my Blues prediction, but I'll just really quick now. I love the Blues forward pack. I love their gritty, all this, that, and the other. But if they don't have a really big kicking game, because it doesn't matter how good your Spencer Linus and your Huddies and all this are going to pump to the middle, you're still going to get meters restricted for 2 reasons. Just the line speed's crazy, and the refs don't blow inside 10 penalties a whole heap, so quite often teams are offside. But it's cool, as long as it's even for both teams, who cares? But it just really restricts meters, and just having that boot where you can go through and the ball lands, like you're inside your 40 and the ball lands like a metre out, and then they only get to carry the ball 10 metres before the New South Wales Blues defence meets them, is a massive difference. Because when you see Hines and Luai, their boots, they're okay, they're good kickers, I'm not saying they're bad kickers, but they'll kick it and the ball will land on the 20, and then there's another carry. All of a sudden they're starting their set from the 30 metre line instead of 15 metres out or something like that. So yeah, I know you couldn't do it, but I really think the Blues team would have been better with Mitchell Moses in it. Obviously you couldn't pick him with no games, but still. But yeah, great. It was that Mulatalo, I don't think he scored the try, but that in and out and away, geez, he's incredible, man. But Queensland will be absolutely fuming that he wasn't eligible for Queensland as well. I think he moved to Australia about 2 or 3 months too late, just like Moses Leota. Sean Lane played in the middle. I thought he looked pretty nice there. He looked really good. And just this is the thing too, like a lot of people were bagging Dillbags, and people that watched it a bit closer, they saw he wasn't doing much wrong in these games where Parramatta were losing. Like, he was actually pretty good. Like, he wasn't perfect, but he was pretty good. He's just, to me, a Robin. He's not a Batman. He's just an elite. Like, people forget this too. Like, Cam Munster, like, best 6 in the game. I think we all can agree on that. When Hughes is out and he has to run the ship, his win record's not good at all. It's just Hughes only ever misses a week or two, and Melbourne are pretty good anyway. But if you actually look, I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure if it still is, but this was a stat that Melbourne Storm have a better win percentage with Munster out as compared to Hughes. Because some of those number 6s, they just need that. They just need to beat. They don't need to do all that other stuff. They just run, create, just ball play, just do your thing and not have to worry about much else. And that's why I couldn't believe. So he played outside Jerome in the Kiwis, didn't he? And he was so good for the Kiwis. Like, Dill Brown is elite. It's just confirmed. Like, he's a Robin. He's the Robin to the Batman, whoever the good half is, which is Mitchell Moses. And just, it's so weird. Like Clinton, Mitchell Moses come in, all of a sudden, like, forwards are winning collisions. All of a sudden, Will Penasini's defending like just the most elite defender ever. Mika Sivo even came off the back fence a couple of times. It was crazy, man. Like, it's so wild what a good kicking game can do. Like, it really is. Like, yeah, you can pick all the best players in the world if your kicking game's not on point. It's, it doesn't do much for you. Sharkies, to me, they just, Will Kennedy looked like they just looked a little off. I mean, we'll have a look at the team stats. So it was like they were due a couple of bad games. They had been absolutely murdering it. I'm not overly worried about the Sharkies, but they definitely need Heinze back. He really does steer them around. I thought Sharks looked pretty good. Like, I'm not. This might sound bad, but I think if Eels played a lesser team, I actually think it would have been 34-6 or something. Like, they looked really nice. It was just Shark. I still think Sharkies were okay, but yeah, it was just Parramatta they were just like this. The season was on the line. The season was on the line. I guess Sharkies sort of had that thing where it's not mail it in, but just, well, we don't have our best player and our this, so we're on top of the table anyway. And yeah, Parramatta ambushed them and looked great. I'm really excited. Let's see. Who's Parramatta got next week? Does the ladder say? Parramatta have the dog. Oh, that's going to be a good game. Doggies Eels. Big game for the Doggies. Parramatta diced them up at the start of the year. Parramatta will have everyone. Doggies might not have a couple. The couple might not back up. That's going to be an interesting game. Wow. On to the Knights and Bulldogs. Man, Bulldogs fans, hang on a sec. So I was at my son's game for this game, and I watched the replay the next day, and a lot of people were like, where's the Doggies review? So I did one, and Doggies fans got mad at me, lad. I was like, what? I was giving them nothing but compliments. Like, pretty much what I said was about, and if you're not a fan, like, if you're a Doggies fan or you're not a Doggies fan, let me know if you think that this is like not giving them respect. I said, to me, the Bulldogs just look like a good rugby league team. They've elevated from a pretty poor team to a good rugby league team. Not incredible, not magnificent, just a good rugby league team. Man, I got crucified online. I was like, what the hell is wrong with that? I mean, if you look at them on the ladder, like, they're literally in the middle. Like, is that not good? It's not like, up here's magnificent. Here's very good. Here's good. I don't know, man. Like, it's funny because I actually do love a lot of Doggies fans because they're so passionate and all that sort of stuff. But Jesus Christ, some are sensitive. I'm like, it was this one guy's like, oh, bro, I'm just so sick of you giving Bulldogs a compliment 1 minute and then hating on them the next. I'm like, I didn't hate on them. I just said they were good. Oh, I did say I hate Reid Marnie, but I do. He's annoying. As if you don't hate an NRL. Everyone has an NRL player they hate, man, and mine's Reid Marnie. I hate him. I hate any little dude that starts-ish because he knows he can't get hit. I hate it. And the reason why I hate it and it strikes a chord with me is I was a 120-kilo bouncer, and I used to get dudes this big coming up to me going, oh, yeah, knowing I'm not going to crack them out the front of a nightclub. And I did sometimes. But yeah, I just can't stand it. But anyway, no, I thought Doggies were good. Like again, Knights just had nothing. It was funny. It was raining. And I've actually thought the Knights have been pretty good in the rain this year. But yeah, just didn't really fire a shot. It was quite bizarre. Two tries to Addo-Carr, he looked good and then did his hamstring, and it's a high-grade hamstring. I thought, I'm not a physio, I don't know anything about it, but where they taped the ice when he came off, I'm like, I think that's like up the top, which could mean where it sort of connects to the bone sort of thing. And then, it came out. High-grade 8 to 10 weeks, which is horrible. Jacob Preston, huge fan of him, absolutely loving him. Same as Curran. But your Knights just, that's 2 sin bins, and they did nothing. I know they got one, but the game was over here. But yeah, it was great. Yeah, it was really, really good. I thought Sexton was, it was just like, this is the thing, I didn't really take much away from the game. I just was just like, it just looked like a good team showed up and beat a team that was pretty average, So shout out to the Doggies. I thought you guys were great. We'll have a look at some stats here. 1,300 to 1,500, 4 line break. I don't think they got this line break to the last little bit of the game too, but it's just one thing. The weird thing about the Doggies, I think this is why I get criticism from Doggies fans, because I'm not going to sit here and glaze you. I'm going to talk about the negatives too. Like, you're not perfect. You're definitely not perfect, but Doggy, the defense reads well and it also reads poorly. And sort of what I mean by that is if you look at the actual points, Doggies are conceding, I think, second or third least amount of points, which you sit there and go, great defense. But then I bet you there's a bunch of missed tackles here. Where are we? Missed tackles. 56 missed tackles. It's wild. Like, they miss heaps of tackles, but they never seem to miss the tackles the tackles that matter they get. They got good goal line defense, and if one person jams, they do a lot right, but they still miss heaps of tackles. So that was one thing. It was weird because I'm sitting there. I keep hearing people going, "Oh, they've got the best defense in the comp." I'm like, well, they don't. It's good, but you're right as well. Like, I'm sort of wrong too. I'm like, well, I guess you aren't leaking many tries, but you are missing a lot of tackles. So. It's weird, the old Doggies. But yeah, got to give them props, man. Absolutely brilliant. You look at 83 tackles, which is pretty poor. But that means out of every 100 tackles, you missed 17. That's quite a lot. It's quite a lot. But yeah, great work from the Doggies. I'm telling you, I'm just such a fan of Karaz, man. He's absolute monster. I just want to check his stats quickly. He's nice, man. I reckon he's the sort of guy, he's not ready yet, but he'll do a job at Origin one day, 163 metres. It looked like he did a lot more work than that. But yeah, great, absolutely great. Sexton looked good. I actually really thought Drew Hutchison played well. You couldn't do it, but just think about this for a second. I actually liked Drew Hutchison and Sexton in there. Could you put Burton at lock? I don't know. No, I'm just spitballing, but yeah. So Adokari's out, but they've got pretty good cover out there. They've got Wilson, who could come in when old mate comes back, and they've also got that Skelton as well. So they're bloody deep on the outside backs. So yeah, shout out to the doggies. Oh, the Penny Panthers did me. Penny in the wet. Penny in the wet. If you're playing the Penrith Panthers, you're just praying. Like, if you're playing the Penrith Panthers, you should be hiring like a Native American Indian to do a rain dance or something. Get the shaker. Because they are not very good in the wet. They just, it's wild. It doesn't matter if Clear is there, if he's not there. Someone threw a stat out. It was just on TikTok. Could be wrong, so I'm not going to quote. I will quote it, but I'm not sure if it's correct. They've lost their last 5 wet games in the wet. And it sounds right. I know they haven't won many in the wet. I thought there was one at the start of the year where it was like drizzling. But yeah, not great in the wet. Really, really bizarre. It's weird because to me their game suits the wet. Like, that's why it's so baffling to me, because like teams, leg speed, smaller teams, leg speed, don't do a bunch of shifting out wide. They do a lot of turning back under. And they've got, when Clear is there, the best kicker in the game. That is literally, like, that's what you want in wet weather. Like, turn the ball under, make forwards tired, line speed, all this sort of, and then kick long. Like, that is literally the blueprint for wet weather footy. Doesn't work. It doesn't work for some reason. But Tungo decided to have his worst game of the year, which is terrible, because a few weeks ago he was in Origin contention, and I think Madge would have seen that game and gone, Jesus, if someone gets injured, he's not playing. I thought Jesse McLean was nice. It was good to see him come off the back fence for his first carry. And Laurie looked okay. Wasn't overly impressed with him. But yeah, these Fenu brothers looked Fangay, however you say their names. I thought Flanagan looked good. Marshke wasn't great, but forwards were good. I love Little, man. I love Little. Luciano was good, but Raymond Fatalina Mariner, bruh, that was like an Origin before, bro. He was incredible. To be honest, it was the 2 second rows that did all the damage. They just could not contain them. And man, I mean, Liam Henry has an excuse, but Jesus Christ, Sorensen, like, you got taken, like, that was terrible, man. Like, both edges were bad, but again, Liam Henry prop, playing out of position, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, Sorensen, that's alarm bells, man. And man, I love these two brothers, man. You got to get these guys into the rotation somehow. I don't know how, but they're really nice. They're like Travojevic vibes, like just hard-working tradesmen, won't let you down. Not the most talent in the world, but just, I watched them a few times last year, and then I was expecting them to be in the team this year, and they weren't. I was like, I wonder what's happened. Yeah, but real nice. I really like them. I thought this kid was all right. Preston Ricky looked pretty damn good. Not too bad, but yeah, it was a bit of a wild one, but let's see where the game all went wrong for Penrith. Well, that won't help. Just the error, they've done it more this year than they have in the last few years, just having games where they have a lot of errors. It's just a little strange, but I'm sure they'll click at the right time of year. Like, I haven't seen Penrith run for under 1,400 metres in a very long time. Average set distance 34, but they did win the ruck there. But yeah, not great. I mean, 50 missed tackles for the Penrith Panthers against, I'm not disrespecting you, but the Dragons without the 2 best players. Very un-Penrith. And I know you can say, well, Penrith didn't have their players either. Yeah, but we've come to expect that the Penrith system's so good, you can plug anyone in there and they will do the job. But I think it's pretty evident to me that this is the thing. Like, Panthers have lost a lot of players over the last 3 years, like superstars, Luai, Crichton, all that sort of stuff, and they've covered it really well. But one thing I think a lot of us haven't seen, which has been going on behind the scenes, they've had a lot of their depth rated. Guys we'd never heard of, but might be killing it at flag, killing it at cup, whatever. And, and they're gone and they're now in another system or whatever. Yeah, and it's happened, and their depth definitely has been rated, and you could sort of tell. But yeah, like I said, I'm not too worried about the Penny Panthers. All right, let's move on to the Finns Raiders. This was a cool game, man. I absolutely loved every goddamn second of it. Shout out to the Milk, absolutely gritty. Shout out to the gritty from the Raiders, not taking anything away, but man, I was so impressed with the Finns, man. Like, they had, Jesse Bromwich went off real early. They had Fuller go off. They had all this stuff happen, and they were still just in there. And it's just, they're such a good team. Like, I've been saying this for a minute now. Like, just watching my son obviously play in under 13s, 14s and stuff, and their development system is crazy. Like, we could be seeing the Finns in the top 4 for the next decade, eh? Like, I couldn't believe, just like the coaching, like how good the juniors are. Like not that good, like they're big and like crazy big and strong, but just they're coached so good, like from age 13. So under 14s, I went and watched it was Div 1. Half gets the ball, skips out, goes to turn with his second rower in, fakes it, and then his centre sprints in, face balls him and hits his winger on the outside. I'm like, that was like Nathan Cleary did it. The kid would have been 13 years old. God damn, I could not believe what I watched. I could not believe what I watched. It wasn't just the face ball, it was just knowing systems so young. Like when we were that young, man, like, big, strong, whatever, but we just ran straight. We didn't have any plays. We didn't run plays. If there was space on the edge, you just passed it to an edge. We didn't run block shape and had multiple decoy runners running under, faking, turning under and shifting. Wow. Incredible. Like that age group, they're not killing it or anything, but because they don't have a lot of the stock, like a lot of the Logan brothers and the Easts and all that have the crazy big boys in there. But just their coaching from such young age at the Dolphins is wild. So Raiders Raiders 7 wins, 5 losses. Dolphins the same. It's gonna be a tight year this year, guys. Look at this, third to 11th, separated by 2 competition points. 4 competition points. Wow, wowzers. Xavier Savage is brilliant. I haven't written much more down about this. The Dolphins weren't great to me, but it just blew me away how they were even in this game. Thought Milford came on was okay. Isaiah Katoa, man, I'm telling you, this kid's the next Cleary. He's the Tongan Cleary. This kid, I know he kicked one out on the full, but 2 40-20s, just, wow, it was incredible. I reckon they should have given him a shot at field goal. Or did he take one off the inside-outside? But Asako kept taking him, was getting mad pressure. I reckon Katoa should have snapped one, eh? I reckon he probably could have got it. That Lemu went off as well. But yeah, absolutely nuts. Tarpany again, absolute warrior, soldier. Somehow never in the chat for one of the best props in the... Well, one of the best he is, but he's... It's just incredible what he does, man. I tell you, if he was a Queenslander or New South Welshman, if you compare his game to Tino's, it's not very different. I'd say Tino probably smacks a little harder in defence, but not much. And then, absolutely incredible. Rapana, shout out to you, bro. The only criticism I'd have of the Raiders, and it is something they've just got to get Tomoko better ball. This kid could be the best centre in the game. Ethan Strange so strong, and this Keogh Weeks kid, I actually saw a comment when Fogarty went down, and I did a thing, and someone said Keogh Weeks won't even be in the NRL in a year or two. Bro, it's insane. Man, you know what I thought about today too? For the last 2 years, because we're having a bit of chat how Joey Johns is, obviously he's the GOAT. His rugby league knowledge is insane. We know, I'm not saying he doesn't know footy. Obviously, he knows a million times more about footy than me. But he has some massive L takes, like Schuster's the next biggest superstar in the NRL and all this sort of stuff. And for the last 2 years, the narrative is whenever a halfback gets paid, big, $1 million, whatever, he goes, well, you have to. There's no good young halves around. There's no good halves around. Bro, this year, there's been 6 burst onto the scene and be incredible. Weeks has been incredible. Strange has been incredible. Who's the kid from the Tigers? Forgotten his name. Katoa has been incredible. That kid from Parramatta too, and then Blaze Talunk. Like, there's heaps. What are you talking about? The game's in such good shape. Like, it is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. Like, this Strange kid is strong. Like, he's got like, is he a ginger? He's got like, I'm not ripping gingers, but he's got that ginger strength. Like, I've got one of my best mates. He's got it, and he just, when you touch him, it's just like touching steel. It's just like, it's bizarre. He's not gym strong. It's just, yeah, try get me to the ground, bro. Yeah, nah, not happening. And he's got it. So I can see a flicker of ginger in his hair. Let's have a look at some of these team stats here. I mean, Dolphins, that's why they're in it, man. They had 51 sets, completed 41 of them. Ran for 2,000 metres. Raiders ran for plenty as well, though. 5 line breaks to 3. Wow, look at that ruck speed from the Raiders. That is insane. This is nuts. 40-20. Where's the... oh, here we go. 37 missed tackles. 22 missed tackles from the Raiders. And they faced 51 sets. That's... wow. Take a bow, Raiders. Take a bow. That's incredible. Roosters Cows. Well, we said we're mailing this one in. Jesus Christ. What the hell were they thinking? Like, 20 minutes into the game, you're up. Like, 20 minutes into the game, they were doing nothing. Then they take a penalty. Right, Cowboys looked out on their feet. And take a penalty. And then they do get a try not long after. Great. And then they sort of got another try. And you're sort of sitting there going, they never looked like they were even pushed. But you sort of like, I was doing my stream on Kick, and early in the second half, I'm sitting there going, man, they're going to get run down. They're going to get run down. They got to start playing footy. And then they took another penalty when there was a man in the bin. And then Cowboys go score when they had a man in the bin. Like, what were you thinking? Like, what were you thinking, bros? Absolutely awful rugby league. Joey Manu, like, I've always said this, like, I think people glaze Joey Manu at fullback way hard. Like, I love him at fullback. I'm not saying he's a bad fullback, but I genuinely like him better as a centre. I like him on the edge, one-on-one, way better than I do like him at fullback. The reason why there was a lot of chat when Teddy wasn't going great, just put Joey in at fullback. Bro, I love Joey at fullback, and I think I'm such a huge fan, but the one thing about Teddy, he doesn't play fully direct, but he does play way more direct. Like, Joey does skip a lot, and it does hold up their play. Roosters looked all out of sorts in this game. I'd say if Teddy's in this game, they win comfortably, because he would have played straight. He would have been going skits, going, look what you missed out on at Origin. I really think, like, Roosters win this handily with Teddy in this game, and then Joey Manu, they obviously lost it. But look, real nice gritty, gutsy win from the Cowboys. I just thought they looked like the Doggies. Good. These are the sort of wins as a team. Like, I know they've won their last 2 games, but they were against pretty inferior competition, and I wasn't that impressed. Like, they were okay. They lost 5 or 6 on trot before that. Sometimes when you're down on men, they were down 6 men. And sometimes when you come up against a star-studded team, I know they were missing a few players too, and you get the win anyway, sometimes that's the one that really jags you, like, really gets your season back on track. And, I mean, now you look at it, they're sitting 13th, so they're still not great. They're 6-6. But if they can go on a bit of a run now, you know what I mean? Like, that, it was looking real bad there for a minute. It was looking real bad there for a minute. But yeah, this could be it. Like, I'm not going to sit here and talk how incredible they were, because they weren't. But there were, like, Finifuiaki and Lukey looked great. Neem was great. Granville, I mean, not perfect, but did his job. I thought McLean really stepped up. And I really liked Jason Taumalolo coming off the bench. Just give me 25 minutes of your best, bro. Like, you know what I mean? He doesn't... The thing is, the only reason people are questioning Jason Taumalolo's form is because he's on $1 million. Like, yeah, okay. Like, he signed that along. He's on $1 million. Like, fucking get over it. If he can come on and give you 25 of his best, that his body will absolutely... Like, if Jason Taumalolo right now is on 400K, no one will be talking about his form. No one will be talking about it. It's just because he signed that big deal and he's still on that money. Everyone's talking about it. So, yeah, I was really impressed with him today. Like, if he was on 300K and he was a new player coming up and he did what he did today, I'll be like, this kid's incredible. What a great win. What a steal he is at 300K. We'll be talking about it. It's just, you know, He signed his contract when he was the best forward on earth. I think he signed the contract when he was literally the Dally M Player of the Year, best player in the world. So, of course, he got a big payday, lads. Leave him alone. He's a beast. He's a beast. Like, he is so good. Like, I don't think people realise how good JT was, Jason Taumalolo. Like, I still don't think Payne Haas has been as good as he has been in the year. Like, Jason was a monster. Go look at his highlight reel if you don't believe me. Little bit unlucky for the Roosters. I mean, JWH goes down early. Dom Young just decided to play gridiron and pass the ball. No, it's just, he was awful. Letting balls bounce, terrible. Jennings was good and bad. Tupou was solid. Cheese looked like he was mad, but just didn't really have any impact on the game. Tyrrell May was brilliant. He can hold his head high. Victor and Nat were okay, but without being great. And this Blake Steep came on. He looked nice. Debutant, I think he's 18 or 19 years old. And this Shabosky, this dude here, bros, this dude here is 18. This bro here just turned 18. Look at that. He looks 40. Bro, what a monster. He looks real good. He looks real nice. But yeah, Lance, shout out to the Cowboys. Got it done. Gritty win. This could be the one that really jacked. Imagine the confidence you take from that. Then you just drop 6 State of Origin players back into your team. Let's see who they have next year. So that's it for this one, guys. Like I said, just a nice quick video. We'll get through it. So this is next week's game, guys. So who do the Cowboys have? There is one. So Dragons vs Tigers could be interesting. See if they backplay. This is 2 days after State of Origin, guys. So they might not have their State of Origin players back. Might even put a few bucks on this, just saying. Just because if they don't get them back, I reckon they're a good shot. And at $3.08, why the hell not? Titans versus the Rabbitohs. Loser of this could get the spoon. Loser. This is how the spoon works, lads. Bottom teams lose to all these teams, and then whoever wins the games out of these teams gets a spoon, usually. Cowboys Warriors. So this is on the Saturday, so it'll be Thursday, Fridays. So 3 days after Origin, Cowboys, will they rest players? This is this thing too, with 11-day stand down with HIAs. Maybe you pick up a tight calf, maybe you don't. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see with that one. But yeah, that's big, and it's at home. If this is in New Zealand, I wouldn't give them a shot. But yeah, this is a big game. And then Sharkies versus the Broncos, same deal. It's Saturday, a lot of players. I'd personally rest Carrigan in this one for sure. And that's going to be tough. What a game! Jesus, that's almost worth picking up too, lads. $2.61 before we know a State of Origin players are playing, just for the risk. Because if Kevy goes, what are they sitting? They're sitting fifth. If he just goes, you know what, I'm going to give Payne, Paddy, and I don't know, Reece a rest. You know what I mean? We're going to need them at the end of the year. We're sitting in fifth. You know what I mean? And then Nico plays in this one. Yeah, don't mind it. Storm versus the Knights. Lock the Storm in there, especially if the Knights play the way they've been playing. Geez, that's short for no Munster. Wow. Wow, that's short too. Panthers versus Seagulls. Jesus. I mean, again, so Sunday, so Panthers will have an extra day of rest compared to these guys from their State of Origins. But still, Jesus. And Bulldogs Parrot. This is going to be a dope game. Is this on Monday? Monday game? And Parramatta are favourites. Wow, this could be a hard round to tip in too. So we've only got, 7 games here. So is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then, yeah, Dolphins, Raiders, and Roosters all get the bye. Crazy times. All right, that's it, lads. Like I said, if you made it this far, you know what that means. You're an absolute legend. Make sure you subbed, guys. Make sure you keep your eye out for my State of Origin video, guys. And make sure you follow us on Kick if you do want to follow any live streams, guys. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.